We're on another episode of Table Talk this evening, and we've got our guest here with us from Hamilton. And before he introduces himself, I just want to say this is a platform where we give everyone an opportunity to have their own voice and to share their thoughts and their whakaaros around who they are and their whakaaro on what they do. And so this is not a personal vendetta at anybody, but it's just a platform where people can have their say. So without further ado, we're keeping it real here at the table with Table Talk. I'm your host, ARONA, and as we carry on, that you'll learn to understand every guest that comes on this platform. So, kia ora, bro.
Kia ora, brother.
Well, let's start. No here, koe, ko wai koe. Where are you from and who are you? Share with our family.
Yeah, kia ora, bro. Ko taupiri te maunga, Whakatupu potatau te whiro te tangata, Mauria te marae, ko te Piwa taupiri hipi tōku ingoa. E noho nei au i Waikato, ki kirikiri ro, Kingcity. So my name is Piwa, otherwise known as Logic of H-Town, obviously from H-Town. And I'm the young cap around here for Black Power Aotearoa MG, Kingcity. And yeah, residing here in Hamilton.
Well, it's nice to have you here on our Table Talk this evening, and as I said, you know, it's just good to hear who you are. So I just heard you say you're a young cap. So what does that mean to you, Piwa, being a young cap and leading a group of your brothers through who you are as Black Power MG? What does that mean for you as a young cap?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's a great honour, I would say. Yeah, definitely is an honour. And since we're keeping it real, I'll be honest, it was a role, it was a position that I was reluctant on. And yeah, for probably about 2-3 years now, to be honest, I didn't think I was adequate enough. I didn't think I fit the role, and what I saw in the mirror wasn't, I guess, what other people saw in me. And yeah, I give salutes to my chief pooks, our chief knockers, for seeing things in myself that I didn't see in me at that time. But yeah, it means a lot to me. I mean, it's at times it's a blessing and a curse, I guess. But it's something that I don't take lightly. It's a role that I chuck it on my shoulders and I wear it wholeheartedly. I've accepted it. And yeah, it's just something that pride myself about, not what we've done, not where we've been, but where we're going. People look to us in these positions for guidance, and to at times dictate often where they're going in life. So yeah.
Do you think that leadership grew on you while you felt you weren't inadequate for the leadership role, or did you feel there was other people that could have gone ahead of you, or as you said, you know, were you the right person for the job?
Yeah, I definitely think leadership grew on me. I mean, I tried to actually give the position away a few times, as a few of my brothers know, but I just think that brothers sort of just looked at me as that naturally. And there's a few quotes that come to mind. There's one by Potatau. I couldn't quote me on the exact words, but it says something along the lines of he who doesn't see himself fit or doesn't want to be king is the one, you know, the right candidate for the role. And also that leadership is about influence. And I think that for myself is, you know, how we choose to use that influence to impact or better the lives of others really determines our leadership. So, yeah.
Now that's good to hear. So in regards to influence, who were your influences for you to grow up under? Who were your role models that you followed for you to become who you are today, Piwa?
Yeah, without going too far into the world, I think I'll keep it local. there was a few, probably two major influences in my life and role models in terms of leadership. One being my chief Brooks, and another being Paito, who is for those who don't know, he's president and ariki for Whakatupu around here. So coming up here in H-Town, I've done pretty much my whole walk as a gangster here in Hamilton. Been a Mongol mob stronghold. We have to learn to adapt, and much like the Taniwha, learn to swim upstream. So I think pressure makes diamonds. I think us here, growing up in a stronghold like that, only allows us to be more vigilant and to use our wits rather than our brute strength. So yeah, he's definitely been an impact or influence on my life, and yeah, I'm not afraid to say that. So yeah, those are two main things my chief Brooks and Paito.
Yeah, it's funny, people who may be watching this will think, what the heck is he saying, Paito? And why one of your reasons in regards to Paito? I know you have your chief, and I understand that fully, but why would you say Paito being one of those influences in your life? And he's coming from, I wouldn't say rival, but he's coming from another whānau himself.
Well, I think the fruits of his labour will speak enough, and I think he has values and morals that are much needed in my generation and moving forward in the future. Like I say, leadership is about influence. It's not about what you've done or how long you've been. It's about where you're taking us. And I liken it to a quote that I shared, that he shared long ago. Life was like sitting at a bus stop. One bus turns up. You see that bus is full or something like that, and you wait for another bus. And where I'm going with this is that one bus turned up, and that was his bus. So I'm just likening it to just give everyone a visual. Is that was his bus. It was flourishing. It was full of growth. Health and well-being was on deck. It was pushing positive ways, and it was going in a good direction. Another bus pulled up. That bus, to me, was going around in a circle like this. It was really going nowhere. But to me, that bus had fucking much potential on it. I saw the potential in that bus, and that bus being Black Power here in Hamilton. So I wanted to be one of those, those young bros that to decide not to go with the underdog, so to speak, and to help steer their bus in a better direction by using, in Paito's words, the red print and creating a blueprint from that, and bringing it into my cause. So yeah, those are a few values and a couple of reasons for why I use him as one of my influences.
It's interesting you say that Piwa, I look at you say, you're taking his vision of the red print and creating a blueprint, and, for you to say that Black Power being the underdog in Waikato, and you decided to jump on that bus. So in regards to that, what does Black Power mean for you in regards to the blueprint, and how do you see a steering your boys in MG Black Power whānau in regards to the future?
That's a good question. First and foremost, Black Power means it's my family. Over the years, it's become my whānau. For myself, I was brought up by a single mother, myself and my brother, Paige, and she brought us up. I went to Australia. We moved over there for a bit of a better life and a better start. I was a naughty fella. I got kicked home. So as I learned when I came back, I didn't actually have any solid support. So I found myself on my own. Now, many don't know this, but when I was going to school, I was actually bouncing from place to place, and I felt unwanted. I felt like a burden, and that's often how I was treated. And since we're keeping it real, that's just how it was. And I was homeless at that point. So I was fucking washing myself with hoses and going to school. People didn't know this, but I found refuge in the Black Power, and I found refuge in like-minded brothers and people who had been down that road. And yeah, for me, there's a quote as well that says, leadership isn't about reinventing the wheel, but it's about taking the wheel and getting that machine back in back up and with running order, hopefully more reliable and better than the last time. So that's what it's about to me.
Yeah, that's a pretty hearty statement and a powerful statement to see that you're going to take something, if you look at your own background, like we have come from, and, basically looking after yourself and taking care of yourself. And I can sort of hear it resonating in you that that's where you want to steer the Black Power, and that's where you want to steer your brotherhood. And so, I know we can also acknowledge the OGs for help to steer that wheel as well. But as a leader of today and steering your own waka in regards to your whānau, how do you see that happening in, the leadership of old? Where do you think the leadership of today is leading our game whānau or our whānaus, so to speak?
Well, like I said before, I think it's not about what you've done. It's not about how long you've been here. It's about where you're taking us. And I said it before, where do you go to find out about the past, about our history, our whakapapa? Well, you go to the OGs, the elders. Where do you go to find out about the now? You go to the leaders in place now. Where do you go to find out about the future? Well, you go to the future. And who are the future? The future are the leaders of tomorrow, myself. Future are the rangatahi coming through. So I think, again, circumstance plays a big part in things, the day and age of things. Quite often we hear that myself and my generation didn't have it as hard as a lot of older people. We hear that all the time. Pretty much every generation says to their children, you didn't have it as hard as I, and so forth. But I don't, and I think circumstance makes that for why they were the way they were back then and still are. It's because they had it hard, so to speak. But I think it's about it's about where to from here, and those old morals and those old ways are designed for a world that no longer exists. As we move into a modern world, a world that's ruled by technology, I think we need to continuously evolve and adapt to tomorrow. We just look around us. Things aren't getting any dumber, and I think that it's time to sort of look forward. And I spoke about this before, but there's about Genghis Khan, his grandson Kublai, and a few examples of this is that Kublai was stuck in the old ways. He believed if it worked for Genghis, my grandfather, it will work for us. There's a flip side of the story. There's one side of the people that say he single-handedly brought down, or was the demise of the greatest empire that the world has ever seen. And then there's the flip side. There's he had a son named Jing'an. So nobody listened to Jing'an. Jing'an was raised in the Chinese way. And back then, the Mongols didn't quite get along with the Chinese. But Kublai raised his son in the Chinese way because he saw forward. He saw that that was the future, and he wanted his son to know, well, in our terms, it will be Te Ao Māori and Te Ao Pākehā. And for him, it was the Mongol way and the Chinese way. And by doing that, and by giving his son a voice within the empire, he actually shaped the whole world of science. He made probably the greatest impact on the world for science today. So I think what I'm trying to say is that it's okay for the OGs to give us a chance. It's okay for the OGs to give us a platform like this. It's okay for them to allow us to speak and share our whakaaro, because maybe, and just maybe, they might even learn something themselves as we learn from them, as we are able to learn from everyone with an open mind, and with the right leaders in place, miracles can happen.
Yeah. Well, like you said, he utilised bringing his son up in another way for him to learn the technology of that time. So in regards to that, as a leader, do you encourage your whānau, your brothers, the ones you lead, do you encourage them to upskill of anything of the world of today, and technology, work? How do you see things happening in your whānau in regards to upskilling Piwa?
Absolutely. First and foremost, absolutely, I do. I'm a bit of a sucker for education. I'm continuously wanting to learn. My mindset as a student always, I go into everything as a student. And if my brothers are willing to teach me, if they're able to teach me or continue to upskill, then why not? I mean, here's an example. We've got brothers that were with us. They left to better their life. They went to man up, and they needed to. Otherwise, they were in and out of jail all their life. One particular brother, and he couldn't stay out of jail. And it took man up for him to go and upskill and for him to better his life, get drug free, and get the tools in order to better himself and his life, and then come back to us. So as he did that and upskilled, we sat down, we spoke, and we decided to come up with a thing called Redemption 101, which is a men's program, which is a mental health, a depression and anxiety. It's targeting childhood traumas. It's getting to the core of everything, into our internal atmosphere. So I definitely encourage any brother, any leader, to allow our brothers to go out there, upskill, and to implement it within our families. Because if we families, if we call ourselves a family, we want the best for one another, not the worst. And our role, I believe, as leaders is to make the lives of our members easier, not harder. So if we do our job, if we do it to the best of our potential, there should be no reason for our brothers to leave and upskill. They should be able to stay and upskill, and us to do it together.
Pai o Whakatupu. So, I really love the way you think, upskilling. And I hear you say you got Redemption 101. So you're encouraging building men that come into your sphere, into the Black Power, into the MG whānau. You're encouraging building strong men, strong husbands, strong fathers, in regards to that program, Piwa.
Yeah, definitely. With Redemption 101 is pretty much, as you said, it's about fixing one man at a time, one gangster at a time, fix the man, fix the home. What we quite oftenly, what we are as a product of our environment, is what we saw growing up, is exactly subconsciously what we became. And we're trying to, like you say, upskill and get better and fix our traumas within ourselves, so we don't pass it on to our tamariki, so they can grow up and they can be the best version of themselves. And us as Kingcity MGs down here, we're fully in support of our tamariki, our brothers tautokuing their tamariki first and foremost. And I think that's what it's all about.
Oh, that's great to hear, Piwa, because not many people think that inside a whānau or inside a gang whānau that they're into building the brothers to be better fathers. And it's good that you reveal that through your Redemption 101 program that you've implemented with your MG whānau, Kingcity whānau. That's great to hear. So, here's our question of the week, by the way, Piwa. What does in the trenches mean for you?
In the trenches? Well, in the trenches would mean, I think, us being in the trenches as not just gangs. If we remove the gang aspect from this, if we just speak from a Māori aspect, in the trenches isn't foreign to us. It's not a foreign place. We've been in the trenches since the first land war. We've been in the trenches since before that. This is not foreign to us. We have come up with and we have adapted great fucking mind-blowing warfare tactics and overcome shit that not a lot of other cultures have. And that's because, to me, that's because we're able to look further than what we know. We're able to adapt and implement things that are new to us, and we're able to merge the ways of the old with the ways of the new. And I think in the trenches means to me, I'll be honest, we're still in the trenches. We still face oppression, institutionalized racism within our country now, workplace stuff. It goes even down to COVID that's going on now. You know, we had a hui that we attended yesterday that was about COVID and vaccinations. And what we found, and the doctors said themselves, the studies that were shown showed that Māori were put last on the spectrum of the so-called vaccine that's supposed to save the nation, you know, and all of that stuff. And I'm not against the vaccine. I'm not against anything that helps better and heal our people. But I just say we're last on the spectrum. You know, that to me is in the trenches, and that's why we are in the position we're in today, and I'm still trying to overcome and fight these odds.
It's great to hear, Piwa, in regards to your whakaaro, and you know, we honour that. So, just for our viewers that may be viewing this, what you know, we're coming to the end of our interview now. What are your thoughts, and how would you encourage, or what did you want to say to all those that may be watching this on YouTube, Piwa?
It's to probably look at the individual, be it a brother, be it a sister. Look beyond the colour, look beyond the gender, look beyond the age. Look at us for what our values, our qualities, and look at us as brothers and sisters, rather than you know, the other side of the fucking spectrum, or what we are, what colours we wear. And yeah, to pray for us, not against us, and to tautoko one another. You know, like love conquers all. And that is a very true statement. And it yeah, one more thing is that to the young bros, to our YGs coming up, and I always say this to our YGs because it's all about our tomorrow. And it's that gangs isn't a cool thing. But if you are going to join a gang, and if you are going to join one of our whānaus, you know, do it to add value, do it to add value, do it to better us, do it to the best of your ability. And one more quote of mine is, what if men come to the black path to become better men? That's pretty much me.
Ngā mihi for your interview tonight, Piwa, and it's been great speaking with you. You know, love keeping it real. This is your voice. This is how you feel, and there's been some really great words tabled tonight, some great thoughts tabled, and in regards to who you are and where you see your whānau going forward, Kingcity MGs, and how you see your Redemption 101 program to help build your men in this day and age. And it's good to hear from our young presidents, our young caps, and just to see where yous are going from now and moving forward with your people. So yeah, thank you for being with us this evening, Piwa.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. It's too much, brother. Thank you.
Too much, brother. Well, we're keeping it real at the table with Table Talk. This is my guest, Piwa, I'm ARONA Kere, and we're out. Ngā mihi whānau. Have a great evening.